something has just happened at the worldwide box office that I don't recall ever seeing before in my life. According to some reports, it's only happened once before this century. I haven't had a chance to double check those figures, but I do know that I can't remember the last time I've ever seen something like this. We are accustomed to seeing a movie that opens on week 1, then go into week 2, and take a customary 50 to 60% drop. Anything less than a 50% drop is considered great. Anything more than a 60% drop is considered worrisome. So generally speaking, you see them drop between 50 and 60%. The new horror film Obsession, which I remember we were one of the first groups of people that saw the first trailer for it. I remember when that first trailer came out, I said, okay, I am fascinated by this. I think this looks great. Now, in one of those weird circumstances of scheduling, I still haven't seen the movie. You know, I was completely booked the weekend it came out, and then I've been on the road in a van for the last 5 days traveling out here. I still haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to go see it tomorrow. I'm going to go see Obsession tomorrow. But how can you not, even if I can't speak to the quality of the film. I've just heard a lot of people say they love it. Rob, I know you liked it. You saw the film, you liked it. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now. The movie Obsession this weekend, in its second weekend, made $22.4 million. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, The Mandalorian made 80-something million dollars, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But in its second weekend, Obsession made $22.4 million. So what's this earth-shattering, groundbreaking statistic that I've never seen before in my life? Well, see, the thing is, you got to remember that the movie opened in its first weekend with $17.1 million. $17.1 million. That means that Obsession, with only adding 40 new theaters, not 400 new theaters, not 1,000 new theaters, it only added 40 more theaters. The box office, remember, anything less than a 50% drop is considered fantastic. The box office for Obsession went up 30.3%. Let me say that again. Without opening in just 100 theaters and then expanding to 1,500 theaters. No. Same amount of theaters, just 40 theaters difference, is now open in 2,655 theaters. Only a 40 theater difference. The box office went up from week 1 to week 2, 30.3%. Now, we have seen, of course, movies take jumps like this, but almost every time we've seen that sort of a jump happen, it's been because it was in a limited rollout, and then the week comes where is expanded full theatrical. You know, it opens in 75 theaters, and then next week it rolls out to 1,800 theaters. Sure, yeah, then you see those jumps, yes. But without a significant change in theater count, Rob, again, I have not done deep research on this. I'm only talking off the top of my head here. I cannot remember ever in my lifetime. I'm not saying it's never happened. There are some outlets saying it's happened once in the last century. I'm just saying I can't recall this ever happening before. Now, to keep this in perspective, okay, let's not make this out to be something that it's not, okay? In the grand scheme of things, Obsession has still made worldwide complete total after 2 weekends in the theater, $79 million. Okay. Just to put it into perspective, that is less money than The Mandalorian and Grogu just made in the US on its opening weekend. So I'm not sitting here saying this is the biggest film of all time. It's not by a long shot. It's not even remotely in the whiff of the conversation. But for a film that cost roughly $1 million to make, and they have an opening weekend of $17 million, that's noteworthy. For it to then go up 30% in its second week to $22 million on its second weekend, Rob, that tells us two things. Thing number
Passenger.
A Poor Passenger, which, by the way, I've heard is quite good.
I liked it.
It's been completely overshadowed. But it tells us two things about obsession. Number one, their plan, because I was talking to somebody about this a few days ago, their plan to kind of re-up the marketing campaign. Most marketing campaigns for movies kind of peter out after opening weekend, right? They still keep going, but they peter them out. They decided not to do that with Obsession. They kept the pressure on with the marketing campaign, and the marketing campaign has been incredibly effective. That's the first thing it tells us. But the second thing it tells us is this. People who saw Obsession in the first week are not only going back 2 or 3 times, they're dragging other people along with them. And the word of mouth of this thing has been so positive. Like, when's the last time it's happened? But when's the last time, Rob, that a little low budget horror film, a little spunky engine that could, has instantly got people talking Oscars? Like, there's some whispers going around for Oscar consideration at this point. So the marketing campaign, chef's kiss. It's been fantastic. But more importantly than that has been the word of mouth of the people who saw it in weekend one to see this. Now, to put that into perspective, if Mandalorian and Grogu has this same performance, then next weekend Mandalorian and Grogu would make like $110 million on this weekend, which
oh, they love that.
I'm gonna play Nostradamus here and go out on a limb and say that's not going to happen.
Well, but you are doing the movie meetups, so you could bump it.
Which, by the way, when we talk about the Mandalorian box office a little bit later, I am responsible for about 20% of it. But Rob, you saw this number. This is nothing. This is historic. And I do not use that word as hyperbole here. This is a historic number that we're seeing here for this little horror film that could.
Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. You know, one of the hardest things about trying to lose weight is just figuring out what actually works. Because we've seen them all. There are a million trends, diets, and gimmicks out there, and honestly, it can get overwhelming. And that's why weight loss by Hims really stands out. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever, and the Wegovy pen. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% or more of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite and eat less, so success is within reach. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever and only GLP-1 available in a pill for weight loss, so there are no needles needed. And the process is extremely convenient. Everything happens online. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered right to your door. No insurance necessary. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A.S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com.
But anyway, you saw the movie too. Are you surprised by these results? What do you attribute them to, and what's standing out to you?
Well, you know, I was doing a show on my channel last night, and a viewer wrote in a letter, Cameron, and was talking about this movie specifically because I had done a show. I was kind of critical of the lore of the film, but he pointed out that you have we talk about how the Gen Z movie-going audience has become very vital, very vibrant. This is truly a Gen Z zeitgeist film. And I think that, as it was explained to me last night by a 27-year-old, that this film really speaks to what it's like to date, you know, if you're Gen Z in your 20s and that minefield. And I think what this movie does, you know, it's a YouTuber, Curry Barker's the who made the film, cut his teeth on YouTube, but he's made a film that really captures a moment in time. And you have this incredible central performance and a movie that truly delivers the goods. And it does everything great low budget horror does. And I think I hark back to hearing when I was a kid, movies like Halloween would come out or Nightmare on Elm Street, and everybody would have to run out and see them. And this is kind of, it's been a long time since you had one kind of demographic, young people going out, and this is a must-see film, not because it's just visceral horror, but because there's a wider cultural discussion going on. And what I love about that is, like you pointed out, this movie costs less than $1 million to make, but it's an auteurist vision made by an exciting new filmmaker that really captures, it really taps into something that's going on. And, you know, if you're a kid, you listen to your friends talk about this, and so it's become a movement even. Like everybody has to go out and see this movie so they can weigh in on the wider cultural conversation that's happening around this movie. And I love this. I think that's really exciting. And, you know, this is going to be a film when these kids turn 40 or 50, they're going to be like, remember when we all went and saw Obsession? You know, it's great. And I think it's great for the business, because can you imagine you're at a Hollywood studio and you're looking at the numbers this movie's putting up for a less than $1 million spend? It's going to make over $100 million. And that's what people want. And then we have another movie coming out next week, which is Backrooms, which is made for a little bit more money, but is derived from the YouTube space. I think it's an exciting time for young filmmakers, especially young horror filmmakers. And not everyone's gonna have a winning movie, but man, this movie deserves it.
I'm going to push back a little bit on this. I don't know that you can call a movie a cultural zeitgeist movie or say it's the must-see movie when it hasn't even made $100 million. Like I do think, and I'm excited to see it. And I think, like I said, I'm the one who's telling you this is absolutely historical numbers, But I do want us to keep it in context that it is still a movie that has yet to even reach $100 million.
Well, it's a zeitgeist movie for one demographic. It's
sure,
not a four-quadrant.
I agree with that. I can go with that.
It's not a four-quadrant movie.
Yeah.
Kids aren't, I mean, it's not for families.
Again, it's just the power of the word of mouth, though.
Yeah.
The power of the word of mouth, because that's really what's been propelling it. Because while I've been giving kudos to the marketing budget, it's not like they've had a $75 million marketing budget.
No,
they've done great work with a limited budget and really relied on that word of mouth. And I couldn't be more happy for it. I'm excited to see it tomorrow. I've been excited to see this for months since I saw the trailer. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? This is the first time I can recall that a movie, without having significant theater count change, has actually jumped up 30% from weekend 1 to weekend 2. This does not happen, but it just happened with this little horror film that cost about $1 million to make. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.